At the end of a quiet cul-de-sac in suburban California, hidden behind a veil of twisted oak trees, stood a house. Clara Whitmore lived there. On bitter nights like this one, she sat by the fire, reading until her eyes grew heavy. But tonight, as her lids lowered, she was startled by a sound she wasn't used to hearing anymore. The phone was ringing. Who could be calling this late? She rose, picked it up, and pressed it to her ear. "Hello?" "I'm going to kill you," a deep male voice said. "Who is this?" Clara asked. Silence. "Who is this?" she repeated, her hand trembling. A click. Then nothing. Clara quickly dialed the police, explaining what had happened. The officer told her to wait while he traced the call. After a pause, he said, "The call is coming from inside your house." "That doesn't make sense," Clara whispered. "How could someone be inside?" "He probably broke in," the officer replied. "Oh yeah, I guess that makes sense." "And that's not everything," he said. "I'm not a police officer." "You aren't?" "No, I'm the killer from before. I never hung up." "But I heard a click." The man made a clicking sound with his mouth. "Like that?" "Wow, that's really good." "Thanks." "So, are you really inside my house?" "Yeah, totally." "Where?" His breathing grew heavier. "I like your hair." "Wait, you can see me?" "Yes." "Wait, you like my hair?" "It's really nice." "If you can see me, then what am I wearing?" "Looks like a blouse from Banana Republic and a skirt from Ann Taylor Loft." "Wow, you really can see me." "I can also see—" "Wait, what the hell is that?" "What?" "There's a ghost hovering near you." "It's hard to trust you after the click thing." "No, I'm serious, over by the couch." Clara turned and gasped. "Oh my God, I see it! This place is haunted!" "Jesus Christ, is it a kid? Ew, he's translucent." "Looks like a little boy." "What does he want?" "I think he wants to play. He's holding a kite." The ghost boy floated closer. "Play with me." "Oh my God, he can talk," the man said. "Play with me," the ghost boy repeated. No thank you," the man said. "He can't hear you," Clara said. "Put me on speaker." "Hold on." She tapped the button. "Try now." "We don't want to play with you, okay, Junior? Just run along." "Why?" the boy asked, tilting his head. "Playing is fun." "No, it isn't," the man yelled. "Who are you?" the ghost boy asked Clara. "Why are you in my house?" "I'm Clara. I live here now, and the voice you hear is Victor Hale. Victor is hiding somewhere in here to kill me, right, Victor?" "That was the plan," Victor admitted. "And you guys are scared of a kid with a kite?" the ghost boy scoffed. "A dead kid with a kite," Victor shouted. Silence. Then the doorbell rang. "Expecting someone?" Victor asked. It rang again. Clara opened the door. A hulking man in ragged clothes stood there, hiding a bloodied machete. "Pardon me, ma'am. My car broke down. Can I charge my phone?" "Sorry, I don't think so," Clara said, closing the door. The man shoved his foot inside. "Well, I do think so." Clara stumbled. "Who the hell is that?" Victor screamed. "I'm Ray Mercer, a drifter." "Who the hell are you?" "He's a killer hiding in my house," Clara said, holding up the phone. "Victor." "Hiding? Where?" Ray asked, nervously. "He's in the closet," Thomas the ghost boy said. "What the hell is that?"
Ray screamed. "I'm a ghost. I lived here 100 years ago, and let me guess, you don't want to play." "Hell no, I don't want to play. What's going on here?" "What's going on is, no one will play with me." "For Christ's sake, no one flies a kite at night," Victor shouted. "Give it up." Thomas began to cry. "Now you made him cry, Victor," Clara said. "Sorry if I'm on edge because you let a killer in," Victor snapped. "First of all, I didn't let him in, he busted in." "It's true," Ray admitted. "And second of all, you're also a killer, Victor." "Touché," Ray said. "And third of all, don't say sorry to me, say sorry to the dead kid." Okay, I'm sorry," Victor said. Thomas smiled. Calm returned. Until the doorbell rang again. Clara opened it. No one was there, just a wooden box. "There's a box. No label." "I hate this box," Thomas said. Clara ignored them, carried it inside, and asked Ray for his machete. She popped it open. Inside was a clown doll with a sinister grin. "What is it?" Victor shouted. "A clown doll." "I don't want to play with the clown doll," Thomas cried. "Put it back before it gives us nightmares," Ray said. "Look, there's a string," Clara said, pulling it. The clown wheezed, its eyes shifting, its mouth singing. "Welcome to my circus of fun. There's nowhere to hide, there's nowhere to run. You're all my guests inside the big top. I'm going to kill you all, basically." The clown cackled. "Really psyched you pulled the string, Clara," Victor said. "What does the clown mean?" Thomas asked. "He was clear," Ray said. "He's going to kill us all." "How's a doll going to kill us?" They waited. Suddenly, the lights went out. "What happened?" Thomas screamed. "I can't see," Ray shouted. Through the dark, Clara cried, "Oh no!" "Clara!" Victor screamed. "What is it?" "It's the clown. It killed her," Ray said. "We're next." "He killed Clara," Thomas sobbed. Seconds later, the lights flickered back. Clara's hands covered her face. "My contact lens slid out," she poked her eye. "So annoying." "Oh, please don't do that," Ray said. "What's she doing?" Victor asked. "Touching her eyeball," Thomas said. "It's slippery. Can't get a grip." Victor gagged. "That's vile." Ray grimaced. Clara stretched her lid. "Can someone check if it's under there?" A click came from the phone. "Victor? Was that real?" Thomas faded into the wall. "I'm out." "Thomas?" Clara called. The front door creaked open. "Ray, you too?" Ray turned, dazed. "I hate this place," he said, dropping the machete, walking into the dark. My grandmother used to tell me scary stories when I was little, and there's one I'll never forget. I was 10 years old when she moved in with us, about 6 months after Grandpa passed away. Looking back, she must have been lonely in that big old house. Too many rooms, too many memories, too much silence. So, despite a few protests from Mom, my parents brought her home. I didn't protest at all. Grandma was loud, funny, and I adored her. She always had butterscotch candies tucked away, slipping me a couple when no one was looking. And she was the first to defend me whenever I got in trouble. But what I loved most were her stories. She had stories about growing up during World War II, about her friends on the East Coast after her family was evacuated. Some were sad, some were funny, and some were full of adventure. Yet the ones I loved best were her scary stories. Grandma told me she had dabbled in the occult as a teenager. Ouija boards, tarot cards, fortune-telling.
Most of her tales I laughed off, but a few stayed with me. I was only 10, you have to understand, and she knew exactly how to bring them to life. She would shut off the lights in my room so only the glow of the night sky filtered through the curtains. Then, she'd shuffle in close enough for me to see the wrinkles on her face, smell the candy on her breath, and feel her deep blue eyes staring into mine. Some of those tales gave me nightmares, but years later, only one remains vivid. The story of the shower. The story of Mr. Longfingers. She told me about him one night after I asked why she loved baths so much. Grandma would spend hours in them, candles lit, incense burning, humming until the water turned cold. It drove Mom crazy. But when I asked why she preferred baths, she said it was the only place she could truly relax, the only place safe enough. You know, people like me, who are sensitive to certain things, we have to take baths, she said seriously, shuffling closer on the bed. I couldn't possibly spend that long in the shower. It's far too risky. Her eyes locked on mine, unsmiling. I knew it was time for one of her scary stories. I shivered with anticipation and pulled the covers up to my chin. Why is it risky, Grandma? She half turned toward the window, watching me from the corner of her eye, pausing for effect. My heart picked up. Well, she said slowly, it's only risky if you close your eyes, if you close them for longer than 10 seconds. What do you mean? Why? Do you ever play that game at school? The one where someone turns their back and the others sneak up when they're not looking? I nodded. Exactly. That's what it's like in the shower when your eyes are closed. That's what it's like with Mr. Longfingers. A chill crawled up my spine.
You know what your mother's told him now, Simon? She's told him there's a monster waiting in the shower. A monster! The poor kid's been having nightmares all week. You better say something to her tomorrow morning, or I will.
I will never forget this experience because it was the very first time I ever saw a ghost. Back then, before our house was renovated, all of us slept together in the master bedroom upstairs. We were still kids, clingy with our parents, so it felt natural. Almost every night, I would hear the sound of someone washing dishes in the kitchen downstairs. Normally, the dishes were left until morning, since our helper went home after dinner. At first, I thought nothing of it. But as a child, waking up in the middle of the night and hearing dishes clinking in the dark was terrifying. I told my parents about it, and they admitted they heard it too. Brushed it off, saying it was probably just rats. That explanation calmed me down, at least for a while. Everything changed after the renovation. During that time, the second floor was being worked on, so we all slept in the living room downstairs. One night, I woke up suddenly in the early hours of the morning, and right there, in front of me, I saw her. A white lady. She was walking slowly right across my line of sight, heading toward the kitchen. The moment my eyes opened, she was already there, gliding past me. My heart froze. I immediately shut my eyes tight, but that only made it worse, because even with my eyes closed, I could still hear it, the sound of dishes being washed. I was terrified. My mind raced with the thought that she might come closer, that she might reach out and drag me away. The bottom line? The sound of someone washing dishes was real, but it wasn't anyone in the house. It was her, the ghost. And the strangest part? By morning, the dishes were still dirty, stacked in the sink, just like always. I was serving in the Peace Corps, stationed in a rural village in Bolivia.
I had just arrived, barely 3 weeks in, and was still adjusting to life as a volunteer. That's when I met a group of local men. They seemed friendly enough, easy to laugh with, so I started spending time with them. A few days later, they invited me to help at a potato farm. I agreed, thinking it would be a good way to bond. The soil was rich, the air heavy, and as I dug into the earth, only 6 inches down, my shovel scraped against something solid. I brushed the dirt away and froze. It was a human foot. The severed piece rolled right up against my own boots. My stomach dropped. My hands shook. I stared, horrified. The men I was with didn't flinch. They simply picked it up, shoved it back into the soil, and covered it again as if it were nothing. I couldn't breathe. I told them I needed to leave, to process what I had just seen. They laughed at me, mocking my fear. My mind raced. Were they going to hurt me? Kill me? I didn't know. Terror gripped me. By some miracle, they agreed to drive me back to my host family. When I arrived, I told my host parents everything. Their faces darkened. They explained that the cartel often buried body parts in the soil around the village. The cartel had a strong presence there, and everyone knew it. I contacted the Peace Corps immediately. I told them I needed to leave. Within days, I was flown home. 1 week later, in 2001, another volunteer in that same Bolivian village vanished. Gone without a trace, never seen again. I can't prove it, but I am almost certain the men I was with were involved. I am 99% convinced they were tied to the cartel, and I believe they intended to harm me that day. Somehow I escaped. But I know it could have been me who disappeared. My second terrifying experience happened years later. It was raining hard and my tires were worn. I was driving down a steep hill when I lost control. My car slid, skidding sideways, and slammed into the guardrail, the only barrier between me and an 80-foot drop. The rail bent under the weight. My car tilted forward, halfway off the cliff. My heart stopped. Then, impossibly, an old tree trunk wedged beneath the vehicle caught the undercarriage. The car jolted, stopped, and held. Inches from death, I sat frozen, rain pounding against the windshield, realizing how close I had come to falling into the abyss.
The baby monitor conversation. It happened about 4 years ago. My wife and I were in bed. She was pregnant at the time. Our room sat at the far end of the hallway, opposite our 2 sons' bedroom. They were 3 and 6 years old then, sleeping soundly, or so I thought. We had a baby monitor in their room, the receiver glowing faintly on our nightstand. I woke suddenly in the middle of the night. The sound. A voice. My 6-year-old son's voice, carried through the monitor. He doesn't talk in his sleep. Ever. At first, I thought he was whispering to his younger brother. But there was no second voice. Just his. Yet the cadence was wrong. He spoke, paused, waited, then spoke again, as if answering someone. My blood ran cold. I slipped out of bed, my wife still asleep, and moved down the hallway. The closer I got, the clearer his voice became. Still only his voice, but every instinct screamed that someone was in that room with him. 15 feet away, my mind shifted. My sons were in there. My pregnant wife was behind me. If there was an intruder, I had to act. I scanned for something.
anything to use as a weapon. Passing the bathroom, I grabbed a pair of scissors, gripping them tight, convinced I might have to fight. The bedroom door was cracked. I pushed it open fast and flicked on the light. The 3-year-old was asleep. The 6-year-old sat upright in bed, eyes wide open. I scanned the room. Empty. I dropped to the floor, checked under the beds. Nothing. The closet door was slightly ajar, light spilling out. My heart pounded. I lunged forward, scissors raised, and swung deep into the shadows. Nothing. The room was empty. The house was empty. Every door locked, every window sealed. I turned back to my son. "Who are you talking to?" I asked. He looked at me, calm, almost detached. "Nobody," he said. Then he lay back down, closed his eyes, and drifted off. He was talking in his sleep, but the cadence still haunts me. The pauses, the replies. The way he spoke as if someone was there. I couldn't sleep after that. My adrenaline surged like I just stepped off stage at Madison Square Garden. My son has never talked in his sleep again. Neither has his brother. It was a one-time thing. A bizarre, unsettling moment. And yet, sometimes late at night, I still wonder. Was he really talking to nobody?